Okay, we're going to look at growing celery now.
There are actually only two varieties I can grow well. Latham Blanching Galaxy. The other one is called Victoria. They're very slow. They take 8 weeks from sowing to planting.
Okay.
That's one thing you have to remember. The other thing is they're semi-tender, so you only want to aim to plant them out in late May. They're not suitable for sowing into your modular trays.
Right.
Because that compost will run out of food within 6 weeks.
Ah, right, okay.
And then it's no good anymore, and the plants start to starve. So what you need to do, you need to sow them in a pot like this, or shallow trays like that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then prick them out when they're seedlings into the modular cells. And you fill them, and again overfill it and bang it. They take 2 weeks to germinate, and then you have another week in there, so they're 3 weeks old, and then they're into fresh compost, and then they really get cracking.
And what time of year are we going to be doing this?
Anytime in March, April, and you keep them in a greenhouse or on your windowsill until you plant them out, after you've hardened them off. Don't plant them out before mid to late May.
So in a pot that size, sort of approximately how many seeds
50. Now, the other very important thing is they need light to germinate. You can't cover those seeds now. So you might just give that a little bang. You can leave them on the surface, just water them and
just give them
gently.
gentle watering.
Now, celery is a marshland plant, naturally.
Okay.
So
it's okay.
They would forgive you if you overwater them. Yeah. And even outside, they grow well in wet soil. When they're seedlings, when they're still very small, you prick them out into individual cells. One seedling
into fresh compost.
Yeah, they take 2 weeks to germinate, and then you have another week in there, so they're 3 weeks old, and then they're into fresh compost, and then they really get cracking.
Okay, these celery look great. They're about 8 weeks old now. So what sort of soil do they like?
But celery needs a fertile soil and a moist soil, a soil with high organic matter content. I have a peaty soil here, so that's fantastic for it. But a generous application of compost and manure will improve any soil to make it suitable.
And what about distances, planting distance?
Distance, you see, celery is you often see it on the label, self-blanching. That means excluding the light. So you plant them in such a way that the light is excluded. So they are kind of forced up. So what we'll do is we'll plant them 25 centimeters apart each way. And that way they grow up and they're forced up into the light. Plant them more or less level with where they are. Don't bury the little growth point. They'll be all ready at the same time. So within a period of 4 weeks, you have to eat them all. So you should do some successional sowings. Every 3 weeks to 4 weeks, you can sow another crop. Starting in March, April and May.
Some lovely celery here. These look great.
I'm thrilled with them, and the main thing really is to keep it moist if you don't have wet soil.
Yeah, okay.
Keep them constantly watered, and now we give them a top dressing really, because I really want nice juicy ones. So we'll sprinkle a little bit of poultry pellets around. Very good. It has plenty of major nutrients, also the trace elements from the seaweed.
So when our celery's grown up more and is reaching maturity, do we need to blanch them, or what care do we need to give them?
No, not at all really. They're self-blanching variety.
Okay.
And you see how we planted them in a zigzag fashion.
Yeah.
So when they grow up, they exclude the light from each other.
From each other, yeah.
And it'll be nice and soft then.
Right, we've got some nice fresh celery here. We're coming quite late in the season, and you can even see on this one I've been pulling a few bits off, but I'm going to pull up the whole plant now just to show you, because we're really at the end of November now, and that's about it now. So I'm going to clear this bed. Now, as Klaus said, it's always good to eat a little bit of dirt. That's really good. We had a bit of frost last night, so it's lovely and cool and crisp. As I said, we're near the end of our season here anyway, so this is going to come out. But it just shows you can even get a nice crop like that end of November. Really good.